Hello, I'm Phil.
I'm Georgia.
This is Coping with Donald. And this episode is going to be about Greenland because, as you noticed, Donald keeps talking about it. A lot of people think he's just trying to divert attention away from, I don't know, giving nice contracts to Elon Musk and things like that. But there are actually legitimate reasons why Donald Trump would want Greenland. The first one would be empire building. The United States hasn't expanded on the map in well over a century, and something like this would be a legacy for Donald Trump. I mean, you want to talk about the whole thing, Panama Canal, Greenland, etc., etc. What was the other one he wants? Canada to be a state, Mexico to be a state, all those kind of things. If somehow those things happened, years from now, 100 years from now, what would the history books say? Well, it happened under Donald Trump. Now, all the history books, I mean, we have movies made about people like Alexander the Great, and they go into his private life. I don't know how they do that, but they do. Julius Caesar, they know all these things about his life. And Donald Trump doesn't want to be remembered for the things that we right now know about his life. Okay? And even if you rewrite the American history books, it would still be that way in Europe, the real Donald Trump. Europe, history books.
You know, the 34 felonies.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Rape.
All the charges, the rape. Yeah.
Yeah, things like that. That would all be there, and that would overpower his... Oh, God, the insurrection. That would overpower his legacy.
Yeah.
So it would be better for him, I would think he feels, if he could actually expand the map like that and be remembered as some sort of great conqueror. The downside to that is that, well, as Georgia will say, that's actually Georgia's next point. The downside to that is that nobody really wants that except him, and that could lead to military action, which would make him just another conquering wannabe from history, like a Napoleon or somebody like that. The second reason, Georgia.
Well, the second reason, Greenland, underneath all that ice and snow, has there's riches. I mean, there's probably gold. There's probably coal. Oil. There's all kinds of things in there, and he knows that. And of course, Denmark knows that. Europe knows that. They're not going to just roll over and say, "Sure, here you go, you can have that." Yeah.
But of course, also you have to wait for the ice to melt.
Right, and then if and when that all starts to melt, which it already, I mean, the Arctic is already shrinking. When you look at the pictures of what it looked like 60 years ago and what it looks like now, everything, all these ice, it's much smaller. So when all this stuff melts, where does it go? It goes into the ocean. It goes into the ocean and eventually gets into the jet stream. The jet stream is what keeps this country and South America and this whole side of the world warm. Of course, in Europe also, they have their jet stream. It's a cycle, and everything stays warm, and then the seasons happen. The jet stream stops because of all this ice water. Everything's going to flood. All the islands will be gone. Florida's going to be gone. Over the years, things are going to just disappear. New York City, Manhattan's going to be underwater. The coastline's going to be underwater, and then the stopping of the jet stream is going to stop our warmth, our seasons. We'll go into an ice age, basically.
Yeah, and land that we used to grow food on, we won't be able to anymore. And that's a lot of the problem with the Republican Party. They always come at something at one angle and with one result. The only problem is that usually when you change something, you get more than one result. You get all sorts of results. You have to think of it as a game of chess and how you're going. It's like a medicine that has side effects.
Right.
And
the scientific, I mean, global warming is the science of global warming. It is happening. It's been happening, and these people that say it's a hoax, they aren't looking at
and
the facts.
It's very expensive to fight, and it's also very expensive to clean up after. But if you can't grow food, I guess they think they're going to grow it in Greenland. I don't know. But everything would be topsy-turvy, and they haven't planned for that. I guarantee you they haven't planned for that. They haven't even thought about it. The third reason they might want Greenland is for military reasons. So if you put military there, remember there's only 58,000 residents of Greenland. Okay, that's it. You know, if you put the military in Greenland for the United States, all right, so they're going to be flying over areas. But aren't most of those areas going to be our allies? Okay? Are we going to be threatening our allies by having the military on the doorstep of Europe?
Yeah.
I mean, that alone is frightening too. Exactly who's going to be our allies and what kind of political system are we going to be an ally of?
You know, they're already laughing at us in Europe at this point.
And they really are laughing. I mean, they're actually laughing.
They're actually laughing and shaking their heads. So
are we.
And so, well, yeah. I mean, but we're not really laughing because this is very scary for us. But I imagine there's people in Europe that are thinking this is very scary too for them. So
yeah.
I mean, you know,
because Donald Trump isn't always.
He's unhinged. I mean, he's.
The last reason, by the way, that he might want Greenland, and this is the ugliest one, is a dumping ground for people he doesn't like. Of course, Russia used to have their Siberia, but that was for dissidents. This would be not just dissidents, maybe all the news media.
Didn't England dump people into Australia that they didn't want?
I believe so, but I'm not sure of that.
I don't know. That's what I always heard. But, yeah, it's going to be... this is what I thought from the moment he said anything about Greenland. The first thought that came to my mind was that's where he's going to put the people that he doesn't want here.
He's having trouble repatriating people. Countries are saying, no, don't send them back down here. We're not going to take them. He tried to get Bermuda. I'm sorry, not Bermuda. He tried to get Bahamas to take a bunch of people, and then I think they stopped answering his calls, which is actually pretty funny. But he's going to send, maybe he won't just send the illegal criminals there. I mean, it's cold. Man, what a prison that would be. But maybe he'll send any brown people he doesn't like, or any type of people he doesn't like. This is a possibility, all right? Just because I'm saying this doesn't make it mean it's happening right now. But he would have the ability to do it. And that's what's basically so frightening if he wants to white Christian nationalist purify this country, which maybe he would send people who are a third black, or, just based on, we've all heard the term blue-eyed Aryans from World War II, blue-eyed, blonde-hair Aryans. So, let's just hope it never gets there. So, I also want to throw in a little comment, and after watching you today, okay, if you're getting older or you're not exactly as flexible as you used to be, do not buy a Honda Civic. Okay? That's, I've been watching this woman struggle to get in and out. I don't think I could get in it. It's very low to the ground. It's very hard to get into. So Honda Civic, young people. Okay.
Great. It would be a great car for somebody young, and maybe not tall, with a lot of legs. I mean, it's very hard to get in it, and it's hard to get out of it. it's very low to the ground, so I feel like I'm crawling out of it, and I fall into it.
Well, the last time I was thinking I could maybe put my arms on. It would look like I'm giving her the Heimlich while she's sitting in the car. All right. But just keep that in mind, people. Honda Civic, great car. I'm not going to knock it.
Let me tell you what, the seat is really, really uncomfortable. So if you want a comfortable seat, not on the Honda Civic.
Poor baby.
It's a 2013. So like maybe the new ones, maybe they're nicer, or maybe they have a better seat. I think they're still real low to the ground. I don't think they made them any higher.
I wouldn't even think of buying one. That was before I saw your car.
Oh, yeah.
This has been, we're going to wrap it up here. This has been Coping with Donald. I hope you have a great night or day or whenever you watch this. Take care, and I hope to see you again soon. Please like, subscribe, etc., because we sure could use that. Not because we're going to be monetized, but we just want our ego stroked or something. Have a good night.